Hi, Josh here, and you're watching 610BOB's Builds. Last episode, I powder coated my rims. This episode, I powder coat my knuckles. Powder coating my axle's knuckles. Paint won't help my knuckles much. Some soap might, though. Anyway, this is not a rehashing of the last episode. The knuckles require a little different technique. I followed the same steps that I performed with my rims and some other steel parts that worked perfectly. I sandblasted the knuckle with Black Diamond medium grit, rinsed it with distilled water, and pre-baked. But this is what my knuckle looked like after pre-baking. It is more rusted than when I first got it. I even tried pre-baking without cleaning it with distilled water. Still rusted. After a lot of trial and error, I ended up doing this. I would first sandblast the knuckle, then spray on Eastwood's Afterblast. I will let the afterblast sit for a minute, then dab it off with a towel. After a couple of hours, I would then hit the knuckle with a wire wheel on an angle grinder. My test showed that this helped in reducing the flash rusting. It also removes any large zinc deposits that the afterblast left behind. I then mask off the ball joint and main bearing seats with high temperature tape. I mount the knuckle to a bracket for painting. I did this with two pieces of all thread bent at a 90-degree angle. I screw these two pieces to each other using a bolt coupling going through the ball joint seats. I then mount the all thread to the unistrut that I suspend all my parts from. I then rinse the knuckle off with distilled water. I place the knuckle in the oven for just a few minutes to dry it off. I apply Columbia Coatings outgassing primer. This is important since I can't do a proper pre-bake. This will prevent any oils from bubbling up and ruining the final finish. This is also a high build primer, so the nice thick layer smooths out the cast quite nicely. After the primer fully cures and cools, I apply and bake the final color. Then I cross my fingers and hope that it won't flake off. What I think may have happened with the flash rusting is that brake dust got embedded into the knuckle. And it was this high iron content brake dust that was rusting, not the knuckle itself. That would explain why the wire wheel helped. It closed off some of the pores in the knuckle. Anyway, the knuckles are done. I was going to also show how I powdered my axle, but the video would have been too long. I may make another video on it, but it's basically the same as this video. Mounting and masking is different though, so if you do want to see this, let me know in the comments below. Also, programming note, the next episode, How Power Steering Box Works, will be delayed a week or two. So instead of the next episode coming out in 2 weeks, it will be out in 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully. And the rims are done, not. The finish did not come out great. While it wasn't bad, there were bumps and a little bit of contamination. The finish also had a little orange peel effect. So because I'm anal, we're back to stripping. Interesting thing to note,